Morning. Today we're going to look at a beautiful piece of mid-century Americana. It's an official Boy Scout fixed blade knife made by Western Cutlery out of Boulder, Colorado. So the reason I decided to jump into the Scout knife, Boy Scout knife before moving on is because recently I found out when I was a Cubmaster, I led a group with my son, and one of the boys in that pack just got an eagle, so proud of him, and invited me to his court of honor. So I figure I'm going to give him an official heritage kind of Boy Scout knife. Looking at the knife, I can tell it's pretty old because the fleur-de-lis on the tang and the official PSA plus where it says Western on there, it's dated to like the golden age of Boy Scouting, which is the late 40s to early 50s. Now what's nice about this is Western used an ingenious kind of tang on theirs, not just the high carbon steel, but they're built right with a split tang design. Open it up in here, you'll see those two pins on the end. So they split that tang down there, and then they put two pins in across to secure it. So that's pretty strong right there to be able to lock that in. And then they put the leather washers all the way up there for the handle. So my goal with this knife, it's seen some history. There's some rust on it, definitely. So it's been handled, and that's the idea, right? It was given to a scout to be able to use for scouting things back in the day. So the goal isn't to make it look brand new. It's to preserve that history, stabilize the steel, and then wake up this classic handle, and then pass it on so that, again, he's an eagle, and if he has kids and they become eagles, they become something he can pass down maybe. So that's our goal. So we're going to talk about a lot of the cleanup on this to get it in shape or give it to him.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the blade. And we started by putting some mineral oil on it, and I put the mineral oil on a rag, and I'll put the mineral oil on the blade. And the idea behind this is I want to make sure I get all that grit off of there. You can see that there's some, maybe rust probably starting down there next to the hilt. So I'm going to coat it in mineral oil. I'm going to do the same to the base. And I'm going to let that work a little bit. So I'm going to put that mineral oil on there and then let it sit for a little bit. Alright, now that I've given it a few minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 0000 steel wool, and I'm going to gently go along the blade, and I'm trying to get where that active red rust loves to hide. That mineral oil pulls it up, and the steel wool takes it away. And the trick here is patience. We aren't trying to scrub, right? We're trying to make sure the patina stays and the blade face. We just want to lift that destructive red scale that's on here so it can make sure it doesn't pit the steel. So I go in circular motions. I'm not scrubbing. I am more gently pushing. Circular motions. Trying to get some of that red off there while we keep that patina, which shows the age. And hopefully this way this thing will last so much longer. And the same on the bottom. I just want to make sure we got it on there. And that mineral oil just helps lift that up. Alright, now we're going to take a look at that handle. You can see that handle's been well used, a lot of grit and grime on it. So I'm just going to take a damp cloth and just try to get some of that grit off of there. Not soaking it, but just trying to get some of that grit. If it was really in there, I'd use maybe a dry toothbrush. So I want to try to get a lot of that stuff off of it. So I can bring out that shine. Wow, you can already kind of see on those spacers, they're kind of popping a little bit. You can kind of see some of that grime coming off too. So once I get it wet, I'm going to take the dry part and just rub it around in there, see if I can get most of that off of there. There we go. Alright, so now getting as much of that bad stuff off there as we can. Alright, and now for the most satisfying part, I'm going to take some leather conditioner and I'm going to hit that handle and give those spacers a drink. So I'm putting it on my fingers, make sure I get some on there. I'm going to apply it directly, there we go, to it. So I rub it around a little bit, and now we're going to give these leather spacers a drink. So we kind of give it a little bit here and kind of rehydrate that, massaging it straight into the washers. Wow, look at how it drinks that right up. It's already drying up in some spots because it hasn't had any. So this leather conditioner, and it goes in here, get those yellow spacers. Yeah, it's wicking that right up. Those yellow spacers are what Western was known for right there. Alright, giving it that drink. And again, I take a rag and I just want to gently wipe it down, get that excess off of there. Add its drink. There we go. Now we're just gonna let it sit and condition for a while. Alright, now to lock in that moisture and protect that carbon steel and brass from future tarnishing, I'm going to finish the entire knife with a layer of microcrystalline wax. In this case it's called Renaissance wax. And just give it a quick buff. So I just take a little bit and I just wipe it down, right? And we put this on there and it creates a seal on there. Museum grade, right? This is what museums use to protect their materials. And it gives that final seal to protect it. You'll want to do this every now and then, maybe every year or so. Clean it in there. Give it a nice shine. Helps keep the dust off of it and keeps the moisture. And I put it across the whole thing, including the leather, because then it keeps that juice that we just gave it in there. We gave it a drink, so it's keeping that inside there. And I just put just a level, and what it's going to do is it's going to cloud up after a couple minutes, and then we buff that off and give this thing a nice shine. All right, that side looks good. Let's hop over here. And we start here and just put that thin layer. It's activated with heat. It's wax, right? So just like your car, what you do is you're putting that layer on here, and then when you go to buff it, you need to have the heat, that friction between the microfiber cloth and the wax that melts it and that lets it crystallize. So you're going to wipe off the excess with it, and then you're going to buff get the rest to give it a nice beautiful shine. Put this on across the whole thing, and what I'll do is I'll give it a couple minutes to cure. Get all cloudy, which is fine. Alright, now it's been a couple minutes, so we're going to take it and just take a nice clean microfiber cloth, wipe off the excess that's hardened on there. And like I said, friction. So kind of go back and forth gently. You're not wiping it off. Took off the excess, but now it's shining that. Look at that glow. And and you use the friction to heat it up and to create that rock hard seal on the knife. Keeps all the bad stuff out. All right, let me finish this up and then we'll take a look.
All right, and so now you can see we have a beautiful blade, keeping that old age, but we know it's protected because we got all the grit and grime off there, made it pretty, shined it up a little bit, as much as we wanted to. I don't want to make it look new because this thing's like 75 years old, so I want to make sure it keeps that heritage. And then with it, I also made a little placard to go with it for him. It says the vintage field knife stands as a symbol of over 90 years of outdoor craftsmanship and character, restored to preserve its original patina. It's passed forward to honor the dedication, leadership, and timeless values represented by the rank of Eagle Scout. So, and then there's some information about the knife itself, the age, where it came from, the etching on there, things like that. So, I think he earned it. Being an Eagle Scout's a pretty impressive feat. So, and he's a good kid. So, can't wait to pass it on. Alright, check out the next video. Follow our website, legendssteel.com, and we'll go over some more restorations. I'm working with some Swedish ones right now. Got a couple books out on Amazon, so check those out about the Buck 110, Buck 119, with Swedish ones coming pretty soon, where we talk about Ericsson, Holmberg, Hellberg, things like that. Mora, Arachniv, go into that kind of concept. So that's coming, so be on the lookout for that one. But besides that, all right, thanks for coming to Legends of Steel.